Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Goonies World. I am Meanie, also known as Ryan, and joining me for this adventure once again will be Lunicorn, also known as Lynn.
Hello.
And Goonie, also known as Colin.
Yo.
And Johnny Favreau, also known as Sean.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. We are jumping back into the Accursed Den here in the game of MÖRK, or however the hell you say it, where our lovely group of adventurers had found themselves in the unfortunate situation where they were in a room with a nice wall of gems adjacent to the pit of rotblack. But unfortunately, a giant intestine-like worm had lunged at them out of the rotblack and was going to attempt to eat them, and in fact will attempt to do so. But, point of clarification before we get to that point, we discussed this in either the last episode or the first episode. I don't remember which one, Sean, but very briefly we had sort of come to the conclusion or the consensus from having read the bare bones edition that when it's time to attack or defend specifically, everybody just needs to defend. Nowhere in the rules does it say that the attacking creature must specify a target. It's just we just kind of assumed everybody defended,
Right.
And that may be the case, but the actual text says generally something to the effect of generally creatures get one attack, and I took that to mean one attack on everybody.
Yeah.
But given that 4 bad rolls in a row would turn this encounter into a TPK, I think that maybe that was the intent, but for the purposes of the fact that we have to get through an entire episode, and I don't want to end it in 10 minutes with you all dead, I think we're going to err on the side of the creature must declare a target.
Well, that works for me, and if it doesn't say either way, probably the intent is one attack. Probably does just mean one attack. It's a deadly enough system as it is. They've got to know that. Yeah.
And I hadn't adequately read through the adventure and realized that, well, if this thing hits you and you don't save, you're dead. So, just spoiler alert. But this thing does lunge out of the rotblack, this very large intestine, as it has been described, also known as the gutworm, as it has been referred to by your friend, your 7-foot-tall friend in the other room. But it's time to roll initiative, so if someone would care to roll a d6. And this thing will get to go on 1 through 3, and you guys will get to go on 4 through 6.
Go ahead and roll it, Tony.
All right. 1.
Uh-oh.
All right, well, this thing does leap out of the water. Well, I say leap out of the water. It doesn't leap out of the water in the sense that it is very much of it, as far as you can tell, still remains in the water. But it does, in fact, lunge in the direction, and I'm just going to pick it random, of our friend Keftar, since now we are picking targets. And Keftar will need to defend.
And he will defend with all his might. I have a +0. I need a 12. But I have a 6. I take what happens to me. Oh, no. I'll be hit by the vast intestine. Oh, the intestine has got me.
Well, I'm afraid you will take D10 points of damage.
Oh, my goodness. That's so much. Oh, my. No, I rolled a 7. So now I'm going to have to use one of my omens to reduce that by D6, or else I will be, at -1. I don't think we go to negative. I think we just go to 0. So don't want to.
Well, if you go to 0 and you're not dead, you go negative and you are dead.
Yeah. So we're not doing that. We're going to roll. We're going to spend one of my 2 omens, boom, to reduce this incoming damage by D6, and I roll a 4. So
take 3.
Yeah, take 3. So I have 3 hit points left, and I think I already took the elixir of life that that Eldar gave me.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. And the one I came with, because it's addictive. Anyway,
It is addictive. But he can make another one perhaps tomorrow. But for being struck by this intestine, you must make a DR6 agility save.
agility save, and I will do it. All right, also this time I rolled a 13. I have plus 0. 13.
All right. Well, you are not, fortunately, devoured.
Yikes, swallowed whole. Oh, no. Okay, let's get him. Now's our chance.
Yes. Now it will be your turn for the attack.
Now is our turn to run.
Or run, as you may. As I told you in the last episode, of course, there are two technically, but also potentially 3 exits. I mean, you could, of course, jump into the sulfurous rotblack pit to your north if you would care to, although that is, of course, where the intestine is coming from, and that may not be smart. You could also go back where you came from into the sort of narrow passageway, or you could, which is to the west, or you could go to the east, into unknown territory.
Well, before we run off, I'm going to take... my pride is wounded as well as my body. I'm going to go ahead and just go first on our turn and attack him back. I have to whip out my obnoxious talking sword. Don't frail me now, you terrible, terrible soul. And this time I get the exact same thing. I got a 13. But I get to add 1, so 14. So I'm going to hit him, that's for sure. And I'll do a big fat 5 points of damage.
Oh, well, unfortunately, he has a very thick hide.
Ah, man, I forgot my own armor. I forgot my own armor earlier. What an idiot. Okay. I'm going to take the hit because that's my penalty for forgetting armor. His armor reduces it by 1. So
he takes 4?
Well, now I don't remember
Was it
what I
5?
originally rolled to hit.
I think it was 5.
Yeah, 5. So he'll take 4 HP. The vast intestine.
Very good. And at this point, are you then running, or are you going to stay in here?
Well, I've done what I can do. I'm going to see what they're doing.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Before using our option to run, I'm going to see if I can throw my black poison at this worm, and because if that hits, it could potentially become blind for an hour, which would be nice for us. So I have to make it. Its toughness it says toughness DR 14 or D6 hit, negative D6 hit points, and blinded for 1 hour. So, wow, I got a 19.
Well, I think that will definitely hit it.
Okay, so I rolled a 3, and then I will see. And then I rolled a 6.
Okay, so it doesn't do any damage, but it needs to make a DR 14. Was that what it was?
Yeah, toughness, yeah.
Yeah.
So monsters don't get modifiers. I don't have a D20 here, but if you roll it for me, I will happily trust you, and he needs to get a natural 14 or better, or we'll be blind.
Oops, wrong dice. 17.
So he does succeed. Okay. So he will not be blind. Okay. Well, I guess that settles that. What's Balloon doing?
Balloon is running.
And there she goes.
And which direction?
I am a Fang deserter. I do tend to desert. Quite disloyal. I think that I would like to run in the direction that we have not gone.
Okay. Off to the east, then.
Unknown.
So Bellum runs off to the east in a direction that you have yet to go.
With Fox bounding after me, of course.
Of course. And I think that will make it the Intestine's turn. And he...
Limping after me is probably more accurately.
I believe he will attempt to attack Eldar, so Eldar will need to defend.
All right. Well, I will await my fate with indifference. But I will spend an omen. Because I rolled
omen of indifference.
I rolled a 1.
Oh shit!
Because my
double D10.
My dice are also accursed. So I can negate that, right?
Well, you can make
you can negate the critical.
Yeah,
yes,
still a failure, but it's just not.
You're right. So I failed, but it's not going to be critical failure.
Not going to be double damage. It will just be D10 and not double that.
Oh well, okay. Still probably going to die.
Well, minus your armor, of course.
Minus my armor. Wow, I rolled a 1.
Nice.
That's good.
Well, in this case, low is good.
Yeah.
And not a critical failure.
I'm glad I roll in 1s now.
Unfortunately, you now have to make an agility test. DR is only 6. Or you will be devoured by the gutworm and die instantly.
Oh, okay. I got a 7. You said 6, right?
Yes, that's fucking close. So this thing like attacks you, does a little bit of damage, and then begins like looking like it's going to grasp onto you and gnaw on you, but it just can't quite. Its jaw just can't quite get a hold of you, and it does not devour you successfully. Fortunately for you.
Yeah, and with armor, it didn't do any damage.
Ah, even better. Well, and it doesn't say it has to do damage just as if it hits. So I guess that's. Anyway, well, it's your guys' turn now.
Yes.
So
I'll now be running. And,
are you following Beldum or
into
going
the
over?
unknown?
Yeah,
Let me forget to
yeah.
gag and cough.
I will join my fleeing companions.
All right. Oh my God! Can somebody roll a d4, please?
3.
Oh. Okay. This is interesting. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm... Okay. So you... just moments behind you, Bellum, you see your friends Kefthar and Eldar both join you. You've just had a moment to glance around the room, and you see that there are hooked chains hanging from the ceiling. And there are also just bloody tracks all over the floor, just kind of going in random directions that don't actually seem to lead anywhere in particular. To your north, or which would basically be your left, since you ran in here, you see a large, heavy-looking iron door, but there's like no handle and no obvious way to open it or anything. And of course, behind you, to the west, you go back to the room with the where you were attacked by the Intestine, and to your south or your right, there's some rickety-looking wooden stairs heading up. But your friends, you see all this as you get in there, and you kind of look around, and you're kind of gathering your bearings, and a split second later, your friends rush in behind you, but you don't hear them. There are no footsteps. You can't hear them breathing. you can't hear anything. In fact, you all notice that you hear nothing at all in this room.
Then I will say something, but I'll probably just be mouthing empty words to them.
This room is under some sort of enchantment. What?
This is very strange.
Yeah, and of course you all are just mouthing words at each other at this point. None of you can hear anything.
I'm going to pantomime as I walk, be really obvious like I'm playing charades as I walk over to the big metal door with no handle or anything on it. It seemed like the most dominant and interesting thing. And I just look around, I don't know, look at the edges, poke my fingers in it, see if there's any way to open it that I can find. Maybe they'll come join me, or they'll go poke into some of the other places.
From all your poking and prodding and looking around, it seems highly probable that this door must be opened from the other side.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll pantomime my hand, my little finger pointing around at the other side, and pantomime a shrugging motion. And, of course, I love this room. It saves me from having to go all the time with my character. I'll shrug then and look at you two.
I'm going to pantomime and try to, indicate a crowbar to see if anybody happens
One
to
word.
have...
2 words.
Yeah.
Just one word, 2
Word.
syllables.
Sounds like...
Yeah.
But I'll just, I don't know, make a prying motion.
I pull out a bear trap from my bag. Quizzical look on my face. Yeah.
I pull out my noose. Is this what you want?
No, okay.
And I just shake my head.
Right back in the pack then.
I think we can all put our necks in here if we try.
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe later.
I still have 1 omen left. Of course, we can't discuss this. There are other exits, though. There's the rickety stairs, and was there one other one besides where we came?
Okay. I think just where we came from.
Okay. Well, perhaps we should gingerly approach the rickety stairs that go up, which I will pantomime by doing it, walking over to it, pointing up at you guys like, huh? You go up? Yeah, okay. Maybe we can walk into sound.
I think that's the only way out of here that we can tell, so...
Yeah, we'll try that. Okay, we'll go up the rickety stairs boldly, but cautiously.
All right.
Boldly cautious.
Courageous in our hearts, but we're going very slow and timidly.
Somebody roll a d4, please.
I got this same one here from last time, and this time I rolled a 4. Hopefully it's not the worst thing at the top of the chart.
Okay. So you begin creeping purposefully. What was I can't remember the adjectives you used. Cautiously, yet something.
Yeah, courageously,
Boldly.
yet timidly. I don't know, I said a few different things. I say a
Boldly.
lot of things. I say a lot.
All right. Well, you head up the stairs and find yourselves as you creep up the stairs. It gets warmer and warmer. And of course, you can still hear the violin music from the skeletons you saw earlier. But although it's getting quieter and quieter as you creep up the stairs. And you step into a room. Somebody roll 2d6.
You do it this time, Goonie.
All right, I only got 1 out, but I'll roll it twice. We add them together?
Yep.
Okay. 3.
Oh, dude.
Oh, don't you all dude me, man.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Well, you guys pop into this room, and you see there are 4 guards here. And there's a fireplace. I'll just describe the room to you before explaining what the guards do. There's a large fireplace, which is very, very hot. But there's obviously a fire in it. There's a wooden table with surrounded by chairs, 4 chairs, and then just all sorts of trash and stuff strewn all over the room. Of course, you've got the stairs behind you. To your right, there is another similar-looking iron door closed, and as well on the same wall over to your right, another door that's slightly open. And then directly in front of you, a very heavy closed wooden door. And you startled these 4 guards, who I'm not going to make you roll initiative immediately, but they look very, very angry. Yeah, I think presence would be. Everybody make a presence test. DR 8.
Presence. I have a -2 presence, so... Oh, Lord.
I got mine.
I failed mine. I have a 4.
I rolled an 18.
Well, both Eldar and Bellum notice that one of these guards has a key ring attached to his belt. But, and the one with the key ring, mind you, as you pop into this room, says, "Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?"
We are on official business.
Official business, eh? He looks quite suspicious.
We have struck a deal with the tall man. He wishes us to rid him of a bitch on somewhere in this accursed den.
Oh. You talked to Fletcher then?
Yes, Fletcher.
The cannibal, yeah.
Oh. They kind of look around at each other. There's suspicion. They still seem to be quite suspicious, but less inclined to immediately attack you. So you're looking for what? What's her name? Lesdy? Lesden? Lesbian?
Nobody can seem to remember her name.
Definitely begins with an L. I think we can all agree on that.
Jace, I think is Lesdy.
Lesdy sounds right.
Yeah, we're supposed to keep an eye out for her as well, but I haven't seen her. I don't know where she's at. She's not around here, I can tell you that. Not around this area, anyway.
Perhaps if you give us a description of her and her major weaknesses, that would help us greatly.
Well, she's got long dark hair. She doesn't wear clothes. Well, she does, sort of. But it's like a burlap bag. She just wears it like a dress. She seems friendly, but don't trust her.
No.
And what are her powers?
Powers? Well, I don't know.
She has no sorceress powers or powers of the mind to be worried about or aware of.
Well, she's got some friends.
Oh. Nasty friends, eh? Sounds like friends we don't want to meet.
I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't. I mean, she'll just let them do all the fighting and she'll run off somewhere. That's the kind of bitch she is.
What type of friends does she have?
Well, they're young and dressed in rags, that's all I know.
Human?
Probably. Stop asking questions that I don't have answers to.
Lots of things that look human that might not be human. Well, so what's behind the great metal doors that can only be opened from the inside to satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, you mean the one downstairs?
Yeah.
Don't know, never gone down there. Fletcher don't let us down there.
Yes, probably best not to ask too many questions, as you say.
First I thought maybe you meant that door right there, that iron door. But that's... You don't want to go back there. That's where they keep all the prisoners. Like to keep Lesdy in there.
Last place we want to go is where they keep prisoners. Well,
Do you mind if we pass on through here then, and we could go through the closed wooden door, right? And
yeah.
And then, well, there's a slightly open door too. Yeah. But we know Lesdy's not around here, according to them. So we'll have to just keep on moving through. And I mean, where would
I go if I were a burlap bedecked woman? Bitch. Right. It's always
Keep
best
with the
alliteration. Yes.
Yes.
Alliteration's always best. I see. But where would I go? Where would I hide? That's the question. Hopefully not back down by the vast intestine.
Yes, we do not like the worm.
Have you any experience with this worm, this gutworm?
Try to stay away from it as much as possible. It's sort of, at least partially under Fletcher's control.
Do you like Fletcher as your boss?
Or pays better than some gigs.
Well, perhaps another deal can be struck.
What you got in mind?
Well, if pay is what you're after, perhaps we can find you some greater pay if you help us to destroy Fletcher, so that we may not have to face the gutworm in our quest. I'm assuming he is, but maybe I assume wrongly that he is easier to kill than a gutworm.
I wouldn't want to fight either of them, to tell you the truth.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Well, if I may, our brief does not extend to anything other than bringing Alden back, so...
Which I say under my breath to them.
But to do that, we've got to kill the bitch. I don't think he'll sick the worm on us if we do our part.
Yes, perhaps we shall continue on. Leave you two guards to guard whatever you're guarding.
All right. Well, where do you want to go? I mean, they're just hanging around here.
Do you do not have any suggestion about where we might begin our search for this Lesdy?
If I knew where she was, I'd go kill her myself.
Right.
One of them says.
Well, we'll just go through this closed door here then, unless you have any objection.
And I'll go open the closed wooden door.
Because there was one that was like partially open and one that was closed. Okay.
Yeah, the partially open one was like in the same wall as the metal one, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
so I'm going for the one on the wall by itself.
Okay. So you, oops, I punched my microphone. You open the door and walk into the room. It's much cooler in here than in the room with the fireplace. You can still kind of smell the smoke, though. There are 2 torches in the wall, which are smoldering, not lit and burning aggressively, but smoldering. There are 2 beds here, and lying upon one of the beds are 2 skeletons that appear probably human, and on the other bed there is another skeleton that appears likely to be human. There's also a very large bookshelf full of books, as well as a bedside table with a vase sitting on it, filled with dead, withered flowers. And of course, there is the door you just came through behind you, and then in front of you, another door that's closed. Actually,
Look. Go ahead.
that one is slightly open as well. I apologize.
Look, Scully. Look at these skeletons. Look how much more beautiful you are than they are. Your beautiful cheekbones and your perfection is so much greater than these other stupid skeletons laying around. I love you, Scully.
You have... Why don't you... If Scully is just a skull, perhaps Scully would like to have a body. You can replace the skulls on the other bones.
Scully is not just a skull. Scully is my best friend. My trusted
I did
ally.
not mean to imply that he was only an
He's
inanimate
perfect.
object.
It's perfect just the way he is.
Okay.
Well, while they're doing that, I'm going to just...
But thank you for taking Scully into your thoughts. It was kind thought.
I'll browse the bookshelf and see if there's anything obvious that leaps out at me as being an important or cool book.
Roll the d4.
All right. And I have a 2.
So you just grab kind of a random book and begin flipping through it. And you can't make any sense out of it. It seems to be written, it's all handwritten, this particular one that you grabbed, in a language that you can't read, but it appears to have been written very, very, hastily. And despite the fact that you can't read it or understand it, just looking at it, taking it in, you begin to get lightheaded.
Oh no.
And when you begin feeling this way, almost involuntarily slam the book shut.
Yeah.
Whether you put it back or not, or continue carrying it around is up to you.
No, I'll
but
put it back.
So you put it back.
That one's no good.
Well, as long as this lightheaded feeling persists, and it will for the next half hour, you gain a +2 on all presence and agility tests.
Well, that's good. Okay. If this were a long-term campaign, I'd grab all these books and keep them and figure out how to read them. But,
Well, there are 4 books, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a giant bookshelf with 4 books.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing it. I'm just going to build my library.
I would scoop all 4 books into my bag. Unless it...
I'm a nobleman. Nobleman must have a library. All right.
We'll worry about those books later.
I can't read.
Are you actually putting any books in your bag? Or
Yeah, I want
is
to
that a
scoop
joke?
all 4. No, I wasn't joking. I really want to take all 4. Like I say, it may not come in handy in this podcast life, but this character would like to have the books.
Right. Alrighty. So Anybody doing anything else in here? Or you want to carry on? What do you want to do?
So how many beds were there?
2.
I guess it doesn't hurt to look maybe under the beds and around them, see if there's anything to be found.
Nothing under the beds but dust bunnies, I'm afraid.
All right, and the skeletons are intact, lying on the beds.
Yeah, pretty much intact. Like I said, look like human skeletons. Look like they've probably been here for quite a long time, kind of covered in dust and whatnot. But yeah, they do appear to be intact as far as you can tell.
Are they? Are there sheets on these beds? Or it probably doesn't specify, but
it doesn't. But I don't see why there wouldn't be. Although I think they would probably be rather,
Gross.
moth-eaten and
yeah.
rotted away, mostly rotted away.
I will tuck them in for their eternal slumber.
Very kind of you.
Do you see how nice everybody is around us, Scully? They are so nice. These are the best companions I've ever had besides you and my teeth. And of course, Fox.
There you go.
Foxy, my little foxy hound.
Well, it seems to me, friends, that we could be searching for Lesdy for a long time if we randomly wander about. I'd say a first order of business to find people to talk to. We need some clues to where she could be. That's step number 1 right there.
So there's just one exit here, or is?
I mean, yeah, you could go, unless you want to go back to the room with the 4 guards.
Yeah, let's push on.
Push on.
Yeah.
Keep going
And-
the same direction.
And pushing on leads you directly back into a familiar room, where there is a lit lantern hanging from the ceiling and a small stream of water
Okay.
going left to right between the room with a bunch of black and purple butterflies flitting about.
That would make sense, because we came back up. We had fallen down through the pit, remember? And then we had to walk back up. No, I think, in terms of clues as to where Lesdy might be, I think Fletcher said something about we would have to cross, I thought we'd be clever and maybe take a little walk around and try to curve around it that way, but it may be that we must strike out across it, either swimming or in a boat, but that would mean facing the vast intestine again.
I really don't want to deal with him. I don't like this big intestine.
Yes, it appears we have a limited number of options.
I will remind you, since I'm sure your characters will remember, that when you deliberately triggered the trap that knocked... Oh, never mind. When you deliberately triggered the trap that caused you to fall down, and then you went one direction into the gem room with the gems that you got attacked by the intestine, you could have gone the other direction as well and have not gone that direction yet.
Right, yeah,
Work
that's
our
true.
way back.
Might as well.
So yeah, we could just go. Can't we just turn around and go back down the stairs? No, then we have to run through the room with it. I keep almost saying tentacle, tested.
The intesticle.
The intesticle.
The vast intesticle. Yeah, well, I mean, or we could drop down the freaking pit again. I mean, that's how we can get back. So the other way we know to get down. So we could just run back. Let's just run back. Yeah.
We should exhaust all other options first.
Yeah.
Do we have a rope?
I don't have a rope.
I do not. Well, I have a noose, so I got him, and that's a rope.
Oh, so
It's technically a rope.
you do have a rope. Because wasn't that way we basically fell down there?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
we did fall, but I don't know if there was a ladder or not that we, like if you,
Well, that's true. We didn't really investigate. We just
because
kind of
we were just kind of standing on it, and it opened.
Right.
So
All right.
yeah, there's not a ladder from the trap. There is the ladder in the hatch, but then you're on the other side of the rotblack at that point.
Right.
Right.
Well, I can untether my noose,
All right, let's do that.
even though it pains me to do so. I will unravel it. We may use this to climb down.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think that the trapdoor. I think that's fine. I think the trapdoor just stayed open, and you can use the rope then to just climb down.
Okay.
I think that's perfectly
All right.
reasonable.
All right.
Now we'll track our way back to the unexplored passage.
Yeah.
So you go back to the corridor where there was the paint, where there were the paintings and all that, and the light, the where the pump room and everything was, and you secure the rope and climb down into the little passageway. And you know that if you go to your right, of course, that when you can peer in there and see, you've got the rotblack and the gems and all that. And then to your left is a very narrow tunnel. And it's a tight squeeze. Any heavy armor, etc., or large people, it's going to be single file. But you can easily make it through. And doing so, you find yourself in what appears to be a greenhouse. Very hot, very humid, but pleasant, as opposed to the sort of stench and sulfury smells and general unpleasantness of before. This smells rather floral and nice and sweet in this area. You can see oil lamps hanging in various locations. It's a very large room, by the way, and oil lamps hanging from chains from embedded in the ceiling. The walls are all glass, and there are plants. They're everywhere. I mean, there various parts of the room are obscured just from the various plants and trees and things that are growing in here. Which is weird because you're underground, so exactly how this works is not clear immediately, but you can see what very clearly appears to be the night sky if you look up, and moonlight shining through. So whether this is some kind of weird underground magic stuff, or whether you're somehow on the surface at this point when the rest of the complex is underground, is totally not clear. But you do see a kind of a dirt path leading off into a sort of heavily forested looking area, and that's basically about it.
Now, I don't know if I'm...
Isn't it beautiful,
It is beautiful.
Scully? Look around you at the pretty plants in the night sky. We've seen no freedom for so long. We were in the prison, and now we got out. They brought us in this little coach. We were all shackled and chained, and now we can see the night.
Well, am I crazy? When Fletcher was originally telling us about Lesdy, why do I have the word green in my head?
Yes,
Why do I have the
Yes.
adjective green?
He spoke of, I think, maybe a green room or
A green room or a green lady?
greenhouse, maybe.
Yeah, greenhouse. Yes. I think
Do you think that this cannibal will really return out to us? Or do we recruit Lesdy to help us?
I presume nothing. I do not know who we should trust. Perhaps not either of these characters.
Perhaps not.
Yeah.
We must find someone before we can trust them or not. So let us look around this green room.
Let us.
Right. So basically, I mean, you can kind of follow this path around that kind of winds around through the foliage. Other than that, I mean, or you can just kind of wander around, but the path is the kind of obvious.
Yeah, we'll follow the path. We can keep an eye off the path, look for shadowy people or whatever, but
Lesdy!
maybe not.
Well, it doesn't take you long in following the path to find who you presume must be Lesdy. There is a figure with long dark hair sitting by a campfire wearing some sort of gunny sack as an outfit, reading a book. And as you approach, she looks up and says, "Oh, it's not often I get visitors around here. Would you care to have a seat?" She motions to this log, this, fallen near the fire.
I do not care about anything. I am a nihilist.
Well, are you hungry? Would you like to rest? I have food if you're hungry, and a place to sleep if you're tired.
I think sitting down and having nice conversation with a new person would be very interesting and fun.
I say we get straight to the point before becoming hypocrites and sharing her hospitality. Let's just... Are you Lesdy, of whom we've heard so much?
That is my name, yes.
Yes, all right. Well, you see, we're here looking for Alden, the rightful heir to the kingdom. Because, if he doesn't inherit the throne and the king's idiot brother will, then we can't have that. And so Fletcher said he'll hook us up with Alden and let us take him out of here, or try, if we took care of you. He said you were a bitch, and they portrayed you as a problem for him. But it's not like he's a saint or a hero either, is he? So we're just laying all our cards out on the table here for you.
So while you were saying all that, she had begun to stand up, and she kind of grabbed a mug out of somewhere, and there's kind of a pot simmering over the fire, and she'd begun ladling stuff into the mug, and then as what you were saying seemed to go where it was going, she kind of stopped and poured it back out into the cauldron. And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What do you propose?"
Well, do you have some way of getting us to Alden?
I'm afraid not.
Well, why does Fletcher hate you so much?
Well, he hates all things that are beautiful and good in this world, doesn't he? He is a cannibal, don't you know?
Right, I know. This is an ugly world, though.
Oh, yes, it can be. It certainly can be. Would you like to meet my friends?
I've heard of your friends.
We were warned about your friends. We would prefer to deal with you alone.
And you hear some chanting beginning to come from behind where Lesdy had been seated. She is now standing. It's kind of whispering. It says, "Lesdy, Lucy, Lesdy the chosen, the delightful. Lesdy, Lucy, Lesdy the chosen, the delightful."
Cover your ears.
Yeah. Right, well, no more time for niceties, it is an ugly world, and ugly people and immoral people will succeed in a world like this. We're all doomed anyway. Isn't that right, Eldar?
Precisely.
So-
It matters not our actions. This
Father,
world
draw the sword.
will decay inevitably.
So, let us meet your friends then.
And I'll move to attack her.
All right. Well, as soon as you do, the chanting stops, and three young people dressed in rags lunge out of the foliage from behind her, wielding knives, and roll initiative.
All right.
Unfortunately, they will go first. I just rolled a 1.
All right.
All right. Well, there are 3 of them and 3 of you, so one each. I think that's fair. And of course, they're not all 3 going to attack all 3 of you every round because we have. Yeah. So Keftar, everybody defend. I guess I'm not even going to go in order. Just everybody. There's 3 of them, 3 of you. Everybody defend.
I'm sorry. What are these beings look like? Just humans?
Humans.
All right.
I do not defend.
If you fail to defend, the incoming damage will be D6 minus whatever your armor is.
Okay, it is 3 minus a D2. Okay, 2. I take 1 point of damage. Oh no, I'm down to 3. I'm down to 2 HP.
I rolled a natural 20. I don't know if that,
Nice.
with defense, if that helps me.
It does. You get an immediate attack.
Oh,
and
that's
your
right.
defense is successful.
All right, well, I will take my
Nice.
immediate attack then. And we're using, melee. I'm going to use my Warhammer for melee. And of course, I missed.
Well, it was a free attack anyway. And
Yeah.
how did Bellum do?
What's the difficulty rating?
Whatever your defense was, 12 probably?
Yeah, it's always
DR 12
yeah.
for defense, I think.
Yeah. I did not make it.
So yeah, D6 damage minus whatever your armor rating is. D2 or something probably.
Cool. I rolled a 2, and it's -2. So, yay.
What's mine is D2?
Still okay.
What's mine is D2. If you're a stickler, you got to roll a D2 and then.
Oh.
But yeah.
1.
Okay, well, sorry. Yeah.
So now I'm
It's
down
gonna
1.
be-
Thanks,
it's one or
John.
the other.
Thanks
50-50.
a lot.
I'm going to immediately counter-strike.
And
Is this really necessary?
Yes, it's necessary. Shut up. Be a tool, you tool of a sword.
and I'm gonna splatter phlegm all over my sword, and
You can't wipe yourself off, can you?
and let's see, 13. That's 13, so that's good. Yeah, I'll strike my foe with his raggy body with my talking sword, and I'll do 6 HP to him.
Holy
That's nice.
smokes.
Best I can roll.
Very nice.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
I would love to go next because
Go
I'm
for
just dying to bite somebody.
Yes, and these guys do not have armor, by the way, so no minus on the damage.
Oh my god. I will be using a omen.
Did you roll a 1?
I did.
Aye. Well, you miss either way, but you spend the omen, you don't fumble anyway.
Okay.
And what about Eldar?
I will attack again. My Warhammer. And with my strength bonus, 12.
Which is probably just exactly what you need,
Yes.
so roll damage.
Okay, that'll be a D6, 1.
Better than 0, I suppose. And I should remind Keftar that, and I can't remember, I don't remember right off, I have to look at the thingy. Yes, you do have +2 on presence and agility tests still. So,
Well, that was good. Yes, thank you for the reminder.
and I think that will possibly come in handy as you all must now defend again.
Okay. And yes, we're doing that right now. And whew, it's a good thing you did remind me, because I rolled a 10. So with a +2. But normally I have a +0, but with a +2, I will make it 12. That's barely defending.
I rolled an 11, but I think we add agility to our defense.
Correct.
So 12 exactly on there again.
Not 2 12s, all right. How did Balloon do?
Balloon failed.
Balloon takes another D6 minus D2.
4, 6. So
2.
2. Thank you.
All right.
And don't forget
All right.
your elixir if you need that.
Yep.
If you
Yep.
have-
If I get down there.
have elixir.
All right. Well, back to the attack side. Anyone would like to go first? Please feel free.
Well, I went first last time. Somebody else go first.
I will swing my warhammer. I rolled a 19, which be 20.
Holy smokes! Not a natural, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but that's still good.
A natural. And I rolled... God damn it, another 1 for damage.
All right. Bloom, what are you going to do?
I will be biting again.
You got a bite for your right to party.
Nat 20.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there we go.
Double damage.
Sweet. 10.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my God. So, you've got these 3 zealots dressed in rags, the true believers of Lesdy, and Bellum, having taken a couple hits from this one, just rears back, and this is what I'm imagining anyway, and if you can describe it differently if you like, but what I'm imagining is that just opens up their mouth and just rips this zealot's throat right out of just esophagus, just blood spread, like head falls back. It's
Love
just
it.
it's absolutely like one shot. The thing is just, and the other 2 don't look happy about this at all. Keftar, what are you?
I will swing my sword. Now it's for you, and I got this time a 14. So awesome, and but I only roll a 1 for damage. That's okay.
Well,
yeah. But I did
since
6
you
to
did
that guy
6
already. Yeah.
and they have 7 HP.
Yay!
Yes,
All right.
So, yeah, you the one that had been fighting you is now also deceased. There is but one left. He had been fighting Eldar, but having seen what Bellum did to his friend's throat, thinks he should probably try to get rid of the bigger threat here, and is going to, I think, attack Bellum on his turn. So, roll your defense.
17.
And is going to miss. So now y'all 3 get to try to take this guy. He's got full HP, so.
Well, we might as well do it. I missed, though.
I rolled an 18, so 19, and God damn it, another 1 point of damage. I don't know what's going on with this D6, but
It's broke. Trade for a new one.
I'm slowly chipping away at him.
I'm biting.
Should a guy walk into a hobby store like, I'm sorry, I need to return this
16?
D6.
Yeah.
This is not very
Refund, please.
Is that a defend or an attack?
Attack. You were attacking.
Okay, 5 points of damage with my bite. So, sounds like some more throat rippage is going on.
I have 2, and I think this is because I was trying to keep track of the one that, because Colin just kept doing 1 point at a time, and I think he did 1 twice, if I'm not mistaken.
I've done 3.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, some balloons.
Weird. Anybody see that?
I don't know. I did
Weird
see
balloon
that, and I
animations
saw
just went across
a
Ryan's screen.
random thumbs up animation that was...
I think Squadcast is... Yes.
Okay,
it can see the like hand gestures, and if you put a thumbs up, well, it's not doing. Maybe it's just for you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was doing it for Ryan last week.
Well, anyway, that was amusing because I intended to put up 2 because I was keeping track of the hit points that Eldar was dealing.
I thought I did 3 points of damage altogether.
Actually, it could have been 3. I may have just screwed up, but 2 would have been enough anyway. So, with that, Belloom does indeed throat rip on the final zealot. So they're all gone and dead at your feet and bleeding. But Lesdy seems to have disappeared.
That's exactly what they said she'd do. Said she'd sick her friends on us and then run away.
We must catch her before she has time to make new friends.
Jace.
Kill her.
The chase is on.
You certainly can do that.
Make haste.
There is still a sort of simmering cauldron here. I don't know if you have any interest in that. Certainly you could take an interest in it, or you could run the hell away and look for Lesdy to see where she has gone.
I will...
It doesn't matter if you drink from it. You believe in nothing. Nothing will happen. It doesn't matter anyway. You should go ahead and drink from it.
I will just take that ladle that she was using and just take a little sip of it. Scoop up some of the stuff and take a sip.
Are you down any hit points?
I am down 1.
Well, you heal D6.
Nice.
Oh, give me some of that. I'll run over. That looks
Yeah, I
good.
have a ladle full.
Get a ladle full.
Yes.
I hit a D6. I got a 5. I can't get up higher than my original, unfortunately. Back up to 6, thank goodness. And that's a good place to stop. Hang on, I'm going to go.
You can run, Lesdy, but you can't hide. We're coming for you.
Hey everybody, if you like our podcast, don't forget to leave us a good rating and or review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or wherever you're able. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Goonies_world, and check out our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.